Well, what's up there, guys? Welcome to a cracker Saturday morning. Absolutely picture perfect. I'd love to get detecting today. However, we have got some jobs to do in the shed once again. And this afternoon, we've got a lot of family coming for a family barbecue. How nice. So look, what we're going to do today before the family barbecue is we've got to button up the VS Commodore. We've got to button up the plenum lid because we've had him off over on the floor there, polishing him up with the AutoSol aluminium polish. And we've also got to put the carpet onto the roof lining. Now, I didn't get this done in my last video because it was going to get too long, too crazy. So what we've done is we've split it into two, and today is the secondary part. And as I said, we're going to fit the carpet onto the roof lining. So we're going to spray it with some contact adhesive, lay it all down nice and flat, and mould it to all the different moulds in the roof lining there, around the sun visor, around the handle grips, around the dome light, cut it all out, make it look perfect, and as I said, put that plenum lid back on. It's super cold at the moment though, so coffee in hand, I'm just warming up the fingers because I can barely feel them. It's about 6 degrees at the moment, so warm up the shed here, and look, warm up the air too, because when we spray the glue, we don't want it, we want it to work the best that it can, and 6 degrees, probably a little bit too cold to be spraying that contact adhesive. So warm up in front of the heater, oh, it's nice, and then we'll get to it. All right, we've just finished doing the plenum lid, sort of. Still seeing a little bit more polish off to the side there. He's actually stuck in the hole. But look, that plenum lid, the air intake manifold plenum lid, it looks fantastic. And as I said, you'll be able to make it like a mirror. You'll be able to see my face in it, sort of. Lucky you can't see it properly. So anyway, look, perfect job. And look, a simple job at that. You've seen how that started out. It almost looked like, well, let me turn you around. It looked like that. So, and it was actually black. So look, a perfect job and an easy job. Just sanding him down there with different grades of sandpaper, working him down to that smooth 1500 grade and that smooth finish, and then hitting it with the AutoSol auto polish. Just a great alloy polish. It really is. It works wonders. Been using that for about 20 years now, since I was 18, and I love it. So you can see there how black it turns the rag, and that's basically all the patina, all the tarnish coming out of the alloy. So that was my little buffer rag, back and forth, and as I said, once it starts turning black, you know you're getting that tarnish and the patina out of the alloy, and then you can buff it all back. So very nice. We're going to dirty it up now with our dirty fingerprints. I'm going to put him back on the car. As I said, this is part one of the job today. And then part two, we're getting onto the roof lining. We're just buttoning this back up first. So pull the rag out of there, because that will not help the motor in future. I've seen it done before. So look, absolutely perfect. You can't see it all that well right now because it's dark. Once we get it outside though, we'll show you a bit later properly. That's job number one done. We'll button him up with the alum keys, and then we'll get on to job number two, the roof lining. Well, just doing job number one there. As I said, we're going to get on to job number two, the roof lining, but that is actually job number three. Job number two here is the MAF sensor. Remember in the last video we said we were going to pull him out and clean him? Well, we had pulled him out. We just didn't have the spray. We didn't have the proper MAF sensor spray clean. So everything else we cleaned, the plenum, the upper intake manifold, we sanded out the throttle body, we polished it, ported it. We did the same with the plenum valley. The only thing we did not touch or did not clean, as said, was the MAF sensor here. And the reason being is because they are very delicate. So you've really got to use the right spray. You can't just go using a degreaser. You can't just go using, you know, a multi-purpose lubricant or spray or anything like that. You've got to use the proper stuff, mass airflow sensor cleaner, because this is a MAF sensor. So let's pull him outside, because daylight always helps. And let's do it outside, because just make it a little bit easier. So let's take you outside here. Actually, I'll take you out the back here, because it will be a bit messy. So just on the concrete, I'm just going to sit the MAF sensor down very carefully. Oh, I'm missing my little straw. It's all right, we do have one in the shed. Now we're going to sit him up just like that. Actually, we'll sit him up on the table. And we're going to spray the heck out of him. Try and clean all inside that sensor. So those little pins are the main things that you're cleaning. Little pins over the back there. And you're just going to spray them just give them a good hit with that MAF sensor cleaner. And all it is, it's like it's almost like a circuit board cleaner, this spray, but it does not leave any residue whatsoever. So that will literally evaporate in the air, almost like a brake cleaner does. It will just evaporate and dry out to nothing. Look at that, you can actually see it doing it right there. That'll be evaporated in a second. Look at it go. So a degreaser will leave like a film, a sticky film, on the actual MAF sensor. And as I said there the other week, the MAF sensor will not do its job properly. It won't be able to read the airflow. And your car won't run right. So we're just going to spray the outside here a bit. Clean up all that carbon, all that soot. And this stuff's expensive. It's 35 bucks a can nearly. Even though I'm spraying like crazy, I am trying to be quite sparing with it, because as I said, it's expensive stuff. So I'll just give you a look inside there now. It's a bit hard to see, not out in the daylight, but the main thing is cleaning those little needles, the little arms in there. So let's look, let's move you. Let's take you back over into the sun, because we'll be able to see how clean it is. And look at that stuff evaporating ready. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm standing in the, well, it's almost gone. I'm standing in the sun. So let's put him over near the veggies. And we'll give him another hit. It's very hard to do, one hand. Straight onto the strawberries. It's alright. They're not used anymore, they're not eaten. We've got another strawberry patch. This is just the old strawberry patch. So let's give it a nice good clean. I said expensive stuff this, but I want to clean it up properly. And that looks a lot better. A lot cleaner. So those little needles in there, they were black before, and so was that mesh at the front. The mesh at the front's not too much of a worry. It's just the needles, because those little needles, as I said, they read the airflow, measure the airflow and send it back to the computer, working out your air fuel mixture for your car, for your engine. So most important that they're very clean. Anyway, it looks good to me. They recommend about 10-15 sprays of the MAF sensor cleaner on the MAF sensors, and that's good enough for me. Nice and clean. I dare say she's never been done before, ever. So let's put it back in. Pretty simple job, that one. Spray, clean, watch it dry. Now let's put it back in and let's get the car out of here so we get a bit more room for the roof lining. She's alive, she's alive, and it's coming out of the shed. We did have to jump start it too. It was nearly dead flat. All I've been doing is stopping and starting with the battery of late. I haven't been doing much else. Look at this, got no interior. And if I lay down on the seats, oh, woohoo! I love messing around with cars. Such good fun. I've always done it too, and I've always enjoyed it. Oh, let's take you back here. Need to get ourselves positioned. We've got a silly concrete step right there. Who put that there? I don't know. It's going away soon anyway. So let's get the car back. And I said we're making some room in the shed for the roof lining. And not only that, we're going to be able to have the VS Commodore out here. And as some will know, we're sanding, stripping, we are respraying this car. So look, be able to see all those imperfections. Let's leave it run for a minute. Be able to see all those imperfections really nicely once it's out in the daylight here, or now it's out in the daylight here. So all these little imperfections we've got to pick up on and sand down that little bit more. We can work on them, and now it's out in the nice bright light, and even the clear coat fading away. You can still feel a bit of a lip there. So anyway, very, very nice, very cool. Let's give you a look at the plenum lid, and then we're going to get into the shed and we're going to start on the roof lining, because that's the main aim of this video, and we have not done any of it just yet, but we're getting there. So anyway, let's turn the car off and let's get to it. Well, I think we've done it. We've got ourselves set up for now. And look, some will be thinking I'm procrastinating about doing this job. I'm delaying it. However, I'm not. Just had to get those couple of jobs done first, move the car, set the tables up, and bingo, we're good to go. So you would have seen this laid out in the other week's video, and look, it looks amazing. Wasn't going to buy the carpet off eBay, but I'm really glad I did. It was a great purchase, 55, 58 bucks, something like that. I've got it written down, and as you can see, it overlaps a little bit, so it's nice, and well, we've got a little bit of overhang, but look, plenty of material there to do the job. We probably need to pull it forward that little bit, because remember, it's got to tuck over. Once we spray it down, it's got to tuck over and spray and glue on the back too. That's what holds it down. Once it fixes up on the roof, it will not come back down. So look, what I've done too, because we had that bit of a bend in the backboard there, I've just slipped a couple of timbers under here, each side. The reason being is because when I'm pushing down, I want to be able to continue to get that bow and have the material stretch around it, the length of the bow. So if I was to have it laying flat, what I think will happen is I'll spray the material, I'll spray the contact adhesive, I'll lay the material down, and then it will sort of make that, it'll make the board sit tight. So what I've done here is by creating that bit of a bow, because remember we had it bellying the wrong way, creating that bit of a downwards gap that you can push down on, we should be able to get the material to stretch out perfectly right down, right across to each side, I should say. So look, let's do it. This is the main bit we've got to get right. Everything else before, we could be that little bit dodgy. So everything we're using, well, everything what we're going to use now, I should say, is the Sally's Quick Spray. Now this is really, really good. It's still a little bit cold in the air here. We've had to open the shed up. The fire's still going. But look, I think we'll get away with it. And we have cleaned that panel up quite nicely. So preparation's key. Now let's spray it down. We'll put you on the tripod beside us. We'll spray the glue down, start sticking the material down. Well, I think we've done a pretty good job so far. $55, $58, I keep saying that. Around 50, let's just say 60 bucks for the carpet and a bit for the spray, 20, 30 bucks for the spray. Look, I'm really, really happy with that. It's all stuck down nice and hard. You see me worked around the corners there, and the glue really works off the heat. You see me rubbing back and forth quite a bit, and you can feel the heat in your hand as you rub back and forth with the friction, and the heat is also applying underneath through the carpet into the glue, and it helps stick that glue down. So working your hand back and forth in the handle grip molds there, that's where your handle grip goes. We've got the dome light in the center there, so we make sure we've work our fingers right around the creases there, because we're going to be cutting him, folding that material in. Another handle grip there, front handle grip there, driver's side, and we've got driver's side sun visor, and then passenger side on that side. So look, $60 a bit of glue. It looks fantastic, and I'm really, really happy thus far. I have done one of these before in the past, about 20 years ago, as I said, when I was 18. So I do sort of know what I'm doing, the process, and it is a bit of a process, but anybody could do this at home. You've seen just how simple it is. You just got to get the car apart and the roof lining out. That's probably the trickiest bit. And then preparation, sanding down your panel, buying the material, spraying it on. As I said, do it yourself. Anybody could fix their own roof lining. And there's companies that actually do this. And look, they do charge hundreds of dollars to do it. So 60 bucks, bit of spray, do it yourself at home, and look, we've nailed it thus far. Now we need to cut off all the excess, well, a little bit anyway, because we need to leave a little bit of overhang, cut those corners and then fold it back underneath. Because once it goes up and all the trimming goes on, I'll tell you what, this carpet will never ever come off again. So it looks fantastic, and look, as I said, we're going to show you cutting the corners up the best we can as we go. Unfortunately, I don't have any proper Stanley knife blades, but I was in my local auto barn the other week, and the manager said to me, Luke, his name's Luke too, this must be a Luke thing, but he said to me, Luke, do you want this packet of little sharp blades, mate, little scraper blades? I said, he had them on the front counter. I said, let me guess, a small parts, choking hazard, you can't sell them. And he said, yeah, dead right. He said, we've been asked to recall them, taking them off the shelves. So he said, they're up for grabs if you want them, and you can have them for nothing. So I snabbled them because they're great for cleaning. Like, scraper blades are great for cleaning off paint. They're great for cleaning off, service stickers off cars when you're doing services. I do plenty of those. So look, we're just going to pinch a little razor blade out of there. I don't have a little angled razor blade to put in a knife, but this will do the trick. We'll just have to watch we don't cut our fingers. So look, what we're going to do is, we're going to trim up the edges. It is a bit tricky. I'm going to need 2 hands. So I'm going to put you back on the tripod and look, do the best I can. I try and explain to you what I'm doing as I go. But the main thing is, I actually used to be a carpet layer, funnily enough, too. So as I said, that does help. So all do-it-yourself stuff at home, but I have had a little bit of background experience laying, cutting carpet. And the same sort of thing goes here, applies here. You've got to cut around your corners, and it can be tricky for some, but it's all about your angles. So on this one here, you can see the material's quite tight, right in this point here. So I'd make a slice right down the side there, and then probably another one off the side here, and the material will fold down. The main thing to remember though, where your roof lining ends, you can't cut too far past it. So I'd start making the cut back here, not up here, because if you make it up here, when you fold it down, you're going to see that split in the carpet. So big or good tip there to remember. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Along the straight edges here, pretty simple stuff. We'll make a slice here, we'll make a slice in the middle, one in the middle there, one straight in the middle, and then a few off the side, because it'll just help tuck that carpet down. Look, you probably wouldn't even need to. It folds down quite nice as it is. But as soon as you get up to the corner here, you've got to start making your angled cuts to get around that bend. So look, pretty simple stuff. Try and explain it the best we can. You're going to be on the tripod, so it's a bit hard, but we will explain it the best we can, show you the best we can, and if not, we'll come back and show you exactly how we've made those cuts and how to fold it behind the panel. First things first, we're just going to trim off with some scissors here, chop, just trim off some excess. I don't know how, oh, they do cut well. I was going to say, I don't know how well they're going to cut, but we don't need all of this, so we can get rid of it. So let's trim off the excess, and then we'll start hitting it with the Stanley knife and button him around the back. All the excess is trimmed off, as you can see. That's how much overhang we had. So let's get rid of that. And as I said, we are going to cut the corners now. So we'll go grab our Stanley knife and we'll show you the cuts, how to fold it back around the back of the roof lining and glue it down. Starting at the corner here, behind the back passenger seat, or over the head of the back passenger seat, just going to make a slice straight down through the guts there. What that does, that allows you to fold it down and then tuck the carpet sideways and not have that crinkle, that bunch up of material. So we probably need to go a little bit further forward on that one, and we can even make another cut about there. So it just allows you to get around those corners and tuck that overhang, just like wrapping a present, tuck that overhang back, and you can even trim that off, trim that straight off with the scissors. I just generally tuck it down though. As long as it's not too thick, you'll get away with it. So let's keep going, work our way right around the edge. Done and done. And as you'll notice, all the cuts in there, we've sort of, spaced them out. We've only put them where we really needed to. And that's just where you need to fold the material back and really get it straight without it basically creasing and bunching around those corners. So especially on the ends here, as I said, you can trim off that overhang, which is exactly what we end up doing over on the back here, just to neaten it up. So we'll show you that. And the front there, we're going to do the same. We're going to trim it up with the scissors. So look, just like wrapping a Christmas present, as I said, you fold those corner pieces over and make them nice and neat. And as I said, it will look nice and rounded on the corners. You're not going to get that bunched up. I know you can see a little crinkle there, but once we pull it tight and get some glue on the back, you're not going to notice it. You're not going to see it. And remember, the trimming goes all on here, the rubber plastic trimming. So that will also hold it down and hold it, keep it in place and make it look nice and neat. And we've also got trimming to go on here on the front side panels. So just trim off all that overhang with the scissors, and then we're going to flip him over and we will start gluing him down to the back, because the front or the top or the face or what you're going to see from the car, inside the car, so far looks amazing. Well, that's job done, and look, I'm really happy with the results. There was a little bit of mucking around there. I did speed you up on film because, well, that took about half an hour. I like to do things, well, thorough, very, very thorough, as many will know. So let's just clear the table. Helena's home too. She's about to go down to the supermarket and buy a heap of food for this afternoon. So look out, we can do stuff. Oh, let's turn it around, very hard one hand. And we'll sit him back up, and look at that, just magnificent. He needs a bit of a clean up on the corners. Look, just a bit of a vacuum, I mean, like it's all the carpet's stuck down. Very nice. We do have a bit of a crinkle there, which I'm not happy with. We'll try and fix him. But look, fantastic job, a simple job, do-it-yourself job. At home, you can easily do this, as I said. And look, as I said, all the rubber stripping lining is going to help hold this material up for future. So what we've done here is great with the contact adhesive and turning him around, doing all the back there. However, it's not a must. You could just cut it off straight around the edge here with a Stanley knife and then just put it back on. But you do run the risk of the material peeling back. This way, it's never going to do that. So anyway, we've cut the dome light out, as you can see. The bend is gone in the parcel, in the roof lining, not the parcel shelf. In the roof lining, the bend is gone. And look, you've seen what this looked like before there. When we first pulled it out, it was cracked on the corners. Where are we? The back corners. It was both cracked. We repaired all of those with tape and glue, and look at it now. Bit of carpet, do it yourself, as I said. It looks $1 million. So look, that's about it for us today. Helena's going shopping for food. I need to clean up my mess. We need to basically open the shed up here, or clean it up and get ready for this afternoon for a family barbecue. So look out, and that is a job that we need to get done before we could, get the car out. And now the roof lining can get stored in the car and sit there and bake on a hot day. So look, job done, looks fantastic, very, very happy. About $60 for material, about $20 for the glue, and a little bit of mucking around, but I really hope you've enjoyed. And next time when we come back, you'll see it all fitted back into the car. Can't wait. Cheers.